Hello and welcome to my channel, The Grape Jelly Library, where I always look forward to your visit. My name is Flossie and I love to talk about those books. And today we are going to talk about birthday books. Yesterday, April 24th, I celebrated my 52nd birthday. And the one thing that I noticed with myself, each passing year, each birthday, I become happier and happier. Should that even be a thing? I don't know, but that's where I find myself. And that's not to say I don't have my fair share of woes, because I do. There are times where I just want things to be fixed and my life to be back, as I know it. Things go awry. But I try to solve my problems and fix them as quickly as I can. I try to forgive as quickly as I can, and I just try to be positive and loving on a daily basis. I know it's impossible to be that all the time, but I choose happiness. Today I am going to bring you my birthday books, and I am reflecting on last year. Last year was the first birthday I ever had a YouTube channel, and I remember distinctly going on a 3-day book buying binge. I spent every stinking birthday penny on books, and I don't regret it. This year, I did it a little differently. I have a different frame of mind this year. Now I'm not about buying a book just because, that I can. I am actually more methodical in my purchases. Just because I'm digging a cover does not mean you get to come home with me anymore. So I don't know. There's a lot that goes into what books are making the cut. I have realized that as I age, I don't have all the time in the world to read all of the books that I might have when I was in my 20s or my 30s. So I have to be a little bit more selective in the books that I choose. And I am okay with that. That is just a part of becoming more wise, right? So I'm okay with that. This year, I went to the core of my heart, and I manage a group of people at work, and they are all younger than me, and except for one. She is just a smidge older than me, but it doesn't matter because I'm all about spreading the wisdom and sharing it. I will share my wisdom as well as I would hope you would share yours. And then we're all going to learn from each other, and we're just all going to be better off for it. One of the things I am adamant about as an older woman is that everything that I have accumulated in this brain of mine will someday go to the grave with me. And I am a big advocate of sharing your wisdom with the younger generation. Some of the younger generation just doesn't want to hear it, but most of the younger generation appreciates it. So I just feel, as a woman of age, as we get older, it is our duty to pass our life lessons and experiences and knowledge on to the younger generation, because maybe it'll save somebody from making the same mistake, or maybe it could be something as simple as somebody younger than me is trying to make anise cookies, and I gave them a helpful tip in, making that process or project easier for them. I certainly appreciate my elders passing that wisdom down to me, and anytime somebody does, I always take the time to reflect on some wisdom or intelligence that somebody has shared with me. So that's what I'm saying. My grandmothers have taken a lot of their information to the grave with them, and like, I would be so grateful to know how my grandma Roberts made the most perfect and delicious potato pancake. We will never ever have those potato pancakes again, but had she have taken the time to explain, I would be making those pancakes today, and I know that I would, because as a 5-year-old, take this, my father taught me how to make the most perfect bologna sandwich. And I can replicate that to the T, and no lie, it is delicious. Although I am no longer carnivorous and I chose to forego that deliciousness for a different path, should someone have a hankering for a bologna sandwich, I'm your woman, because I can definitely replicate my father's bologna sandwich, and I am grateful for that. And so that's what I'm saying. So with all of that said, I'm going to show you my birthday book purchases, all pertaining to how I am feeling today at this age of 52. 52 does not bother me at all. I made a post. I may be on Facebook, I may be a year older, but I could still sit on the floor and get up without holding on to anything. I pushed myself to do the things that I can still do, so that I may still be able to do them. Now, there are a lot of things that I can't do, but I never stop trying, and I always push myself, because I am a firm believer of and in, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Let's get into these books, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 4 of them are on the lines of the same topic. So let's start with this one that is not. I loved the name for this title, and that's why I chose it. Like Water for Chocolate. Doesn't that sound like a book you want to read? Like Water for Chocolate. A novel in monthly installments with recipes, romances, and home remedies. A mystical Mexican love story that will charm the palate and the heart, says USA Today. Now, as I age, I find myself becoming more of a varied reader, and I'm here for it. I'm not minding it. This is what the book looks like. And it is a beautiful cover, but I did not buy it for the cover. I originally was buying it for the title, but I like the concept of it being a novel in monthly installments with recipes, romances, and home remedies. I like that. A tall tale, fairy tale, soap opera, romance, Mexican cookbook, and home remedy handbook all rolled into one. That is something so different than anything that I have ever read. So I am here for that. This book, I wasn't going to leave there. There's just no how, no way. I am a history lover, and I love to know the experiences of the past. Required to have a college education, speak 2 languages, and possess the political savvy of a foreign service officer, a jet-age stewardess serving on iconic Pan Am between 1966 and 75 also had to be between 5'3" and 5'9", between 105 and 140 pounds, and under 26 years old at the time of hire. Cook weaves together the real-life stories of these adventurous women, from small-town girl Lynn Toten, a science major who decided life in a lab was not for her, to Hazel Bowie, one of the relatively few Black stewardesses of the era, as they embraced the liberation of their new jet-set life. Cook brings to light Pan Am stewardesses' unseen role in the Vietnam War as the airline added runs from Saigon to Hong Kong, from plane loads of weary young soldiers straight from the battlefields, oh, God love them, who were off for 5 days of precious R&R and then flown back to war. Finally, with Operation Baby Lift, the dramatic evacuation of 2,000 children during the fall of Saigon, the book's special cast of stewardesses unites in a unique and compassionate portrait of barrier-breaking women in the 1960s and 70s. Julia Cook wrote this. I'm thankful for Julia Cook because I want to know. I want to know all about this. Again, a book, something like I have never experienced before. The next birthday book that I chose is by Ruth Ozeki, and it is The Book of Form and Emptiness. It's inventive, vivid, and propelled by a sense of wonder, says Time. Okay. 1 year after the death of his beloved musician father, 13-year-old Benny O begins to hear voices. The voices belong to the things in his house: a sneaker, a broken Christmas ornament, and while Benny doesn't understand what these things are saying, he can sense their emotional tone. When his mother develops a hoarding problem, the voices grow more clamorous. Are you on board with this one? Do you dig what I'm saying? Are you picking up what they're putting down? At first, Benny tries to ignore them, but soon the voices follow him outside the house, driving him to seek refuge in a public library, where objects are well behaved and know to speak in whispers. There he discovers a strange new world. He falls in love with a mesmerizing street artist who uses the library as her performance space. He meets a homeless philosopher poet who encourages him to ask important questions and find his own voice amongst the many. And he meets his very own book, a talking thing, who narrates Benny's life and teaches him to listen to the things that truly matter. This sounds like an extremely colorful book. Again, a book like none other that I have experienced before. I think we are batting at 100. 3 for 3. Let's see if I can continue the batting streak. The next book that I chose was, here we go, going back to my topic or subject matter that I started the video with. Betty White's Pearls of Wisdom, Life Lessons from a Beloved American Treasure by Patty Sullivan. And Betty White is everyone's grandmother, I believe. When Betty White speaks, we listen. Betty White's award-winning career spanned 7 decades, from the early days of television on the game show circuit to her unforgettable roles on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Golden Girls, and Hot in Cleveland. She was the first lady of television. With her irreverent wit and comedic timing, she was a force of nature forever cherished by fans, young and old. In Betty White's Pearls of Wisdom, readers will find a more intimate look into Betty's life as told through the eyes of Patty Sullivan, her lifelong friend and adopted family member. My remembrances are perhaps an echo of things already said, but I hope my stories hold up a mirror, another reflection of her essence and how she affected my life so profoundly. So what I always do with my books that I'm thinking about purchasing is I choose them, I carry them, then I determine if they're going to make the cut. I yet again open them up once more. I never land on the same page twice. And the second time I opened this book and landed on a page, it spoke to me. Not only did this speak to me, but the second time I opened, more, enthusiastically and more in a sense that I could relate to. It said that Betty White did not care about vanity. She did not care if she was going to be filmed and she didn't have lipstick on. She didn't care if she wasn't looking her best. She didn't care if she had proper dress attire on. She was real. She didn't care. That's not to say you ladies out there or you folks out there are vain if you do care what you look like. That's not to say that. It's just to say that she didn't let those little things stand in her way of life. And that's kind of how I live my life. I comb my hair 1 time a day. That's all you're getting out of me. Oftentimes my husband will say, he in the past would say, well, aren't you going to comb your hair? Or you can't wear that to the store because you've been painting all day. And, my way of thinking is, this is me. I am who I am, and I'm a busy person, and I do things, and I am not, I'm not going out to a restaurant to impress anybody. I'm going out to a restaurant to satisfy a need. That need is hunger. So what I look like, I could care less about. And it may be wrong. It may be right. I don't know. But that's how I operate. That is not how my husband operates. He believes that you should wash up and comb your hair and, be presentable. But, I got to be true to myself. And that's who I am. So he's stopped trying to fight me on that issue. And I think it's a good thing for the both of us. The next book that I chose, it was 50% off. So yeah, I was getting it because it was exactly and precisely the type of book that I am on the hunt for. As an older woman, passing the wisdom on, sharing what you know. My moment. And this is 106 Women on Fighting for Themselves. Daisy Fuentes, who I love, Cyndi Lauper, Reba McEntire, Linda Perry, Alicia Silverstone, MJ Rodriguez, just a whole ton of women The diversity of voices is the greatest strength of this profoundly personal book. The messages of hope and courage they offer to all women is a powerful tonic to contemporary anti-feminism, uplifting reading for anyone regardless of gender identity. Kirkus Reviews. It's a heartfelt collection of the diversity of contributors and the tonal range of their responses. Rocker Chrissy Hines is just one line, "The moment I was born." Make this an uplifting compendium for women of all ages. Publishers Weekly. So I am so looking forward to hearing what these women have to share. This is going to be get a cup of coffee and nestle in and just learn a thing or two for me. I'm going to so love this book. I already know it. And then the last book that I chose as a 52-year-old woman is Collective Wisdom, Powerful Wisdom from Our Elders. And it is by Grace Bonney. And it's lessons, inspiration, and advice from women over 50. Now, you tell me that this is not going to be a fantastic book. I dare you to tell me that it is not, because I am absolutely convinced that it is. Absolutely. Again, cannot wait to make a coffee, nestle in, and hear what these fabulous women want to share with me. I literally have chills right now. I do. Yeah, I cannot wait to learn a thing or two from my elders. I am very proud of these books that I chose for my birthday this year. And I am very excited about them. I hope one of these books will find its way to your TBR pile. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, and be reading. And may all your book dreams come true.